Keiko's Diary.
Welcome to the Keiko's Diary podcast, where I get up close and personal with creatives to uncover the people behind the art. Without further ado, let's bring in today's guest, the man on the run, Matt Hill.
Hey, Keiko, how's it going?
I'm just so thrilled to have you on today. Your voice has literally raised so many people all over the world, and you continue to inspire with your talents and passion for what you do. I mean, you have just brought so many legendary characters to life, such as Ed from Ed, Edd, and Eddy.
Hi, Keiko. Yep.
Kira from Gundam SEED and Gundam SEED Destiny.
Hey, everyone, it's Kira. How's it going?
And Raphael and Ninja Turtles.
Yo, yo, yo.
You also voiced Peter Pan in The New Adventures of Peter Pan. How about that?
It was me, I'm trying to feel like I was 13 again, you know? It was awesome.
You're also Ton in DinoTrux.
That's right, my buddy Ton.
Soarin and My Little Pony.
Don't forget, I love pie as well, right?
I think it's the key to world peace. Bankotsu in Inuyasha.
That evil man that's just misunderstood by the world.
Also Rio in Ronin Warriors. And Metalhead in G.I. Joe Extreme.
Yeah, this is what it is, for sure.
Finn and Stormhawks. And so many more. Not to mention your amazing commercial work. I gotta talk to you about another major aspect of your life, which is running. I'm a runner myself. This made me just admire you even more. You've almost run 300 marathons. 300, that's a lot. And you even founded Run for One Planet, which led to an 11,000-mile run across Canada and the perimeter of America. Incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. All these thousands of progressions from doing loops around my cul-de-sac of that, my childhood home, and to then, loops around my town, and then later on doing the big looper around North America. There were moments when sometimes if I thought about it too much, like going, okay, wait a second, we're on day 2 of 11,000 miles. I would be like
crushed. Yeah, that's insane.
Totally crushed. I'd be so fearful sometimes, right? Going oh my God, how are we going to do it? And then I was just like, dude, one step at a time. Literally 1K at a time, 1 mile at a time. Sometimes it was one signpost at a time. When people say be here now, that was my opportunity to because there were so many ways that I could have gone off the rails, right? Or get hit by a truck or a car or a big tumbleweed in the south or
anything. Yeah, I agree. I think that's the key with just about anything in life is it's biting it off a little bit at a time, because if you look at the whole picture, it's overwhelming.
What I think is so cool, Keiko, is let's say with your podcast, I'm sure there was a ton of steps that you had to go oh, okay, I got to figure that problem out. Oh, okay, my system just crashed or whatever your challenge would be. So that's why I say thank you for doing what you do, because if it was up to me to make the world be recorded, the world we wouldn't do it. It'd still be Morse code.
Yeah. Well, could you tell us a little bit about your next mission?
I was set to run across Canada again, which is 10,000K. When COVID arrived, I was like, well, I can't do it in real time because obviously in those early days we had to stay local. And I just went, okay, well, I can still do it. I could still just do it locally. Over the course of 2 years, I covered the 10,000K. People were out there all the time as well. So I met so many people. It was great because then I just sort of had this homegrown local cheering station of people, right? That were always giving me the thumbs up or, one guy, literally the only thing I ever knew was his name was Andy. And he moved from Montreal a bunch of years ago. And all the way through the 2 years, he would go, how many Ks today, Matt? Never, ever don't think that your dreams, can still do something. So many things that we think, oh my God, it's going to turn out this way. We have no idea. We have no idea how it's going to turn out. See, even with Run for One Planet, say with our 11,000 mile run around North America, our job was, okay, just keep running. Just keep moving forward. Run each marathon a day. Speak to as many people as we possibly could speak to. Because even these cartoon characters that I'd been blessed to be able to be hired to play, we were in this middle school in the middle of Canada, and they, we had them at the beginning, and about 15 minutes into the presentation, this one kid literally went, "This is so boring. Be funny right now or die, right? We'll lose these kids." I knew right then and there that was where I had to bring out Raphael, and I had to bring out Ed. I just had to say, hey, everybody, do you want to help save the planet with Ed and Sparkly Stephanie? Kids went from being too cool for school to like children again. It turned out to be the greatest gift, Keiko.
Our main slogan at MLA Entertainment is the power of storytelling. And it's because it's like you just said, it was just a different room, and then you pulled out entertainment. It brought everyone together.
Hey, yo, you kids, believe in yourselves, believe in the power of the superhero, right? And, you know, so then I could talk about like the Turtles in a way that shared our message, which was to believe in yourself, to believe in the power that the superhero can change the world and that you're a superhero.
Why don't we switch things up a bit and play my favorite segment, the 60-second 411. Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite movie?
Ooh, It's a Wonderful Life and Shawshank Redemption.
Ooh, favorite song?
Ooh. I love so many songs.
All of them.
All of them. No, oh my God, favorite song. There's so many. I'll come back to that.
Favorite game?
This game.
Oh yeah, Greatest Fear.
Dying before I know I've done my mission here on this planet.
Totally. Hot or cold weather?
Ooh, hot and cold.
Ooh, night owl or morning bird?
Ooh, morning bird.
Favorite singer?
Oh, Brian Adams.
Favorite food?
Oh, sushi.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Biggest pet peeve?
People, when I say hi to them and they think I'm weird, and so they don't say hi back.
I'm feeling ya. Oh my goodness. What's your favorite song?
It's a Bob Marley song. It's like, you know, why.
Since we didn't get to the last four, cats or dogs?
Dog.
Oh, me too. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Having a positive attitude and believing that, like, for real, we can all do, like, we can come together and we can make this world a better place.
You already have that superpower. Who's your favorite Spice Girl?
Sporty Spice.
Yeah, Sporty. Okay, no question there. I bet she's a runner too. What was your favorite subject in school?
Oh, recess. I loved recess. The other teachers would be going like, oh my God, he won't shut up and he won't sit down. My PE teacher, Coach Judy Bowling, she just went, hey, if he gets to you, just tell him to go out and go for a run. I just needed a reset. There was just this perfectly placed lane right out of the back of my elementary school. And I would run to the old garbage truck and back.
The Spotlight.
I have to take a minute to talk about one of your most iconic shows, Ed, and Eddy.
That's my buddy.
It is Cartoon Network's longest running original series, and it received critical acclaim along with multiple awards. It actually reached an audience of 31 million households and was aired in 120 countries. That is huge. And the show just truly defined an era and remains a pop culture treasure. Could you tell us about some of your memories of the show?
How do you talk about Ed? I think we had officially maybe like 7 callbacks.
Whoa.
Because, you know, Danny, the creator, he had all this genius inside his head. And he was like, I know I'll hear these guys and the, you know, all the characters when I hear them. You know, 5th, 6th, 7th audition came around. It was only 3 Eds.
Oh my gosh.
It was 3 of us for each of the characters, right? So we knew we were getting close. We had no idea what Danny wanted at one point. And for some reason, I got so confused and frustrated. And then I tapped the mic, which you don't do as an actor. I went like, excuse me, fellas, how do you get water from this thing here? I could see Danny freaking out going, that's Ed! That's Ed! And Danny said, you play that and you've got Ed. That is Ed. A big mistake could be like the gig of your dreams. For the first 13 episodes, every time I got out of sort of being Ed, like Danny would just be like, playing the thing. It was so incredibly off the wall, and I guess that's the way they wanted Ed to be. After the first few episodes, like, you know, they said don't read the script beforehand because Danny wants you to be completely blind, essentially, going into each recording. The co-founder of a site called Cameo, I didn't even know what Cameo was until I had a phone call with him, and he said, Ed and Eddy was my favorite show growing up. And I thought, hey, I wonder if we could get Ed. You bet your sweet Bippy.
Mobile Suit Gundam is a name known all over the world. Whether it's for the anime or the models that people put together and collect, it's huge. Just last year alone, the franchise raked in almost $1 billion. One of the most popular anime series to come from the Gundam franchise is Gundam SEED and Gundam SEED Destiny, where you voiced the very popular protagonist Kira Yamato in the Ocean dub. How do you go from Ed, and Eddy to a show like this?
That's the challenge, right? To be able to go, okay, I got to play Ed today.
Yeah.
And then, later in the day, I got to play Kira for a bunch of hours. I think I was doing My Little Pony at the same time. I think we were just finishing our run around North America when this part was being cast. And the director, he knows me. So he's like, I think we really need to have Matt for this because, he'll be the epitome of Soarin.
Inuyasha is also one of the most legendary anime series out there. For me, I especially love the gorgeous soundtrack, the art style, and the setting. It kind of reminds me of the world of Princess Mononoke. And you voiced the dangerous Bankotsu.
The director, Carl, he put this character to me, right? And I actually shied away from it. I'm like, I can't play this character. It's like, it's too low, or it was too, right? And he's like, you can play this character. Come on, man. And so they brought me in so that basically I could go and just basically do a whole bunch of takes to just see if we could get something that felt right.
Yeah.
This deep, evil, guy who wants to take over the world came out of me. And I was just like, oh my God, that's so much fun. My friends at Ocean Studios, Carl Willem, who's the main director there, who I've done, hundreds of episodes of shows with. It's such a tip of the hat, right? Man, I got the gig because I also got that extra little bit of encouragement. Dude, you can do it. Come on.
Yeah, don't typecast yourself.
As actors, we fight so hard to don't typecast me. But yet we typecast ourselves.
Something else quite special that you were a part of. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had one live action series, and it was called Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation.
It was cool because I had also just finished doing Raphael in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, but inside the suit. It was a neat way to wrap up the character for Raphael to then be able to play him and do the voice of him in the Next Mutation. The movie was the first big budget feature that I'd worked on, and so it was neat to be able to again, same thing. I had no idea how popular the Turtles were until every day after filming we'd have hundreds of people that had lined up. I'm blind, deaf, and dumb with having this turtle suit on. And I Puppeteer Noel, who was Snuffleupagus in Sesame Street, by the way. He'd say on my headset, he'd be like, "Hey Matt," he'd be like, "Raph, there's a family of 4, 2 on your side and 2 on the other side, and there's going to be a baby gonna put in your hand." So he would tell me in my headset, put out my hand, right? And then I have all these pictures with these families, right? And having no idea, because I was still inside the suit. 20 years later, we were doing a presentation for Run for One Planet. I bust into Raphael, right? I bust into Ed. We do our show. This teacher comes flying towards me. She goes, "Oh my God, I met you with my husband and my 1-year-old daughter 20 years ago when you guys were here filming Turtles." So she got this picture out, a picture of the 3 of us at the meet and greet that I was telling you about. And then she goes, "And here's my daughter now, a beautiful young woman, and she's off to college." All these intersections colliding, choosing to be an actor, choosing to be a runner, choosing to run around North America for my cause. A lot of goosebump moments.
You keep being shown throughout your life that yes, you made the right choices, you're doing the right thing, and that's really cool.
It feels good. Like every actor, or any self-employed, sometimes there's pauses and, you don't score things for a while. Consistency
is the key to pretty much everything in life. And I think as a runner, you get a lot of skills with that, just endurance and stamina.
When you get a cramp, what do you got to do? You got to rest, right?
I coach voiceover artists a lot, and I'm going to have to use that. It's when you're having a downtime, it's just a cramp. It'll pass. From that hill.
Yes, Keiko. Go, Keiko. Yeah, I bet you're an amazing teacher. You just got this way about you.
You're about to add author to your list of accomplishments. So could you just tell us about your upcoming book and how that came about?
When I turned 50, the big 50, I've always wanted to have 104 candles on the birthday cake for some reason. So at 50, I was like, okay, it's the first half of my life, and the lessons that I've learned.
Wow.
I guess essentially being a voice for change. So in many ways it's a voice, being obviously a voice actor, but also being, a voice that wants to also share good things in the world, and, like my love of running, and, all the ways that like running has basically been my best friend my whole life as well. Like the way that these two paths have always intertwined with each other, and my incredible love of people, and my incredible love of this planet that we share together.
You know what this means? We're expecting part 2 when you're 104. So you gotta do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're better, so like, and then I'll start writing it when I'm 90. I'm on the final chapter. So with any luck, it'll be out into the world by the early new year. So
Have you ever?
Here we go, Matt. First question. Have you ever gone skydiving?
No, that's on the bucket list still. I bungee jumped in Africa.
Oh my gosh.
The second highest one on the planet at that point. It was in Tanzania, so that was pretty cool.
Have you ever touched a snake?
Does a garter snake count?
Yes, any snake counts.
And I thought it was icky.
Have you ever broken your phone?
I pitched 3 phones off one bridge at this one particular spot 3 times. So yes, the replacement phone, I literally fell out of my pocket as I got off this one bridge, and it landed on a rock as I knew it would, and so yeah.
Have you ever been betrayed?
Yeah, I was betrayed, but I realized I kind of betrayed myself. When you kind of get the spider senses of things, when you just go like, no.
Have you ever cried in public?
Never. Unless I bawl. I'm a baller. I cry all the time.
That's good. Let it out. It's healthy to cleanse. Have you ever broken any bones?
No, I'm very blessed. I mean, I did some stuff on my vertebrae, but I've never actually broken a bone. So,
have you ever exploded with rage?
Oh yes, I had my. Do you remember that movie Forrest Gump? Remember where Lieutenant Dan just is raging in that storm? When he's like, yeah, never take me, and he's like in the top of that crow's nest.
Right.
I had my moment. Oh yeah, and it was actually, it's interesting you say, because it came from that betray question, but I raged in private between me and God and the mountain road that I was running on, and it was very healing.
Have you ever been cheated on? Another deep one.
Yes, I have.
Oh my goodness, that's horrible.
It's a learning journey.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a ghost?
Yes, I have actually. In the house that I grew up in, and me and my 2 brothers, we were out in the front, but it had just gotten dark, and it was quite late. And all 3 of us saw this sort of like this, I don't know, like an image that was like in our carport. And I swear to God, it was my sister who's in heaven. And it was around the area in our yard, like where we had planted a tree in my sister's honor.
Have you ever seen a UFO?
There's this beach, like in the place where I used to grow up. It's like it was basically no lights at like nighttime. So like the sort of like the light pollution was very little. I swear to God, I saw like the streaks of like a I don't know, something. So I'm gonna say yes. I think I have seen a UFO. At first I thought it was a satellite, but then it came in so quickly. But then it just kind of hovered, and then just like this tracer of the speed with which it then took off, I was like,
wow. Have you ever run away?
Yes, I did. I was like, I even wrote my dad a note because he was supposed to play, I think he was supposed to play soccer with me, but he then had to help my sister with something. And, me and my sister were a little closer in age than my other 2 older brothers. And I got super jealous in that moment. I'm like, you know what? You want to play with me? I'm going to run away. I wrote a note upside down thinking that was going to be all mysterious and stuff, and I took off. I think I lasted about 2 hours.
You proved your point, though.
Yeah, absolutely. My dad gives me the look like, so you're back? Okay, good. Okay.
Have you ever done something crazy?
Crazy! Some people saying run around North America is a bit crazy.
I would say so. Mm-hmm. Have you ever tried something and regretted it?
I'm doing lots of stuff. The more you reach out for reaching for your dreams, sometimes you're going to faceplant.
Right.
And so you can't really regret that stuff because it really does all have purpose. Don't be afraid to keep falling. Kind of helps you define the parameters, right? Don't be afraid to share what's going on, because you never know who literally might be sitting next to you that might go, oh my God, that's the coolest idea I've ever heard. The initial night that I thought of Run for One Planet, I was on a plane, actually. The little old lady and the guy that was sitting next to me, this voice inside me said, Matt, you just wrote all this stuff in your book. You need to share it with these two people. They both said, like, oh my God, that's absolutely brilliant.
Sometimes you just got to tap on the microphone.
Good segue. You're very good at what you do, Keiko.
You too, Matt. Have you ever pulled an all-nighter?
Oh, yeah. I have, from high school years and, graduating from high school. It was definitely 2 days. We partied so hard. It was fun. But then I pulled lots of all-nighters working on the Run for One Planet. And then, on a lot of the stuff that I've sort of been, writing and working on.
Have you ever been terrified?
I fell off a waterfall because I was an idiot, and I didn't listen to my godfather say, don't go up and try and cross that waterfall. But, being young and stupid, we were like, hey, let's go up there and let's see if we can go across.
Yeah. I
hit a ledge about 10 feet down, and and I woke up and screamed. This falls, I think it was about maybe I don't know, 300 or 400 meters tall. And they climbed up the side, and then they found this little pool where they could go across. They got a rope. They got it to me. This was before mountain rescue and stuff like that, right?
Fan mail.
The first one is from Monday VA. They want to know, when asked to voice Bankotsu and voicing the lines, how did you feel about the character? Too hard or deserved more?
Because I was sort of questioning whether I was sort of the right guy for that role. It took me a few episodes to really kind of get that deep, bassy, bad swagger about him. Got a lot of encouragement, which was really cool. It allowed me to sort of really step into it and kind of own it, right? And once you do, then it's okay, it's on.
Okay, another question from Keiko Kev. This is actually one of my very good friends. I've worked with him for many years, and he's even provided his voice for my web series, Project Infinity. So, hey, Kev. He wants to know, what is your favorite Ed line to voice and your favorite moment from the series?
I don't know why, but this, when there was the one scene where he comes out of nowhere and he's on the back of a boat, and he's like, kick my feet, kick my feet, kick my feet. It's still, I just love that line. When I now do the cameos, right, I'll be like, well, now keep kicking your feet towards your dreams. The Christmas episode still was my favorite one because of Ed's unabated glee with basically destroying the house when he was putting up the Christmas decorations.
Yeah, I remember.
Putting all the gravy cakes and the milk out for Santa Claus. That for me was the funnest scene to record. I'm such a good boy. Oh, Santa, I'm getting stuff ready for Santa Claus, right? It's
We got another question from My Hero Sean Mania. Did you like doing anime or prelay voice recording? So I guess they're wondering which one you prefer.
I loved them both. I was doing anime is more because it's more like painting fences. It's more technical where, you got to fit the line within where they've already animated it, right? So that's why we have the 3 beeps that we got to get it in and get it out before the ending of the 3rd beep, right? Whereas obviously prelay is just free form. It's just so free. It's funny, if we had to have done, say, Ed, and Eddy as an anime series, I don't know if I could have done it. Beep, beep, beep. What do I do?
One more question from Bulbadex. They want to know, how did you get into voice acting?
Because I'd been in a band in high school, I'd already sort of had a lot of time, obviously, with, singing lots of rock and roll songs. I hadn't even thought of ever doing voices, right? Because I, as an actor, and when I first started at my agency when I was 13, and one of the agents there, Gail, who turned out to be my one and only agent, except she just retired. But one day she was like, hey, have you ever thought about doing voiceover? Because, I don't know, you're animated. You probably could do really good at it. And I was like, okay, right. And she set me up for a part in a live radio trip of all things at a place called Granville Island, which is a really cool spot in Vancouver. It was such a neat way to cut my teeth, as it were. It was neat because even my first agent, she's like, you have no experience, but your enthusiasm level is off the charts. She said, and I love her, Dorothy Boyce. I will be ever grateful, because she said, you remind me of my other client, and her client at that point was Michael J. Fox. She went, I'm going to take a chance on you.
The Deep Dive.
If a genie could grant you 3 wishes, what would they be?
That I could build an electric RV so that I could then go around North America again with a carbon neutral, power bus of possibilities to be able to reach the kids of North America again. The other 2 would be, I deeply believe in the power of the human spirit.
Yeah.
And so my wish would be that I could somehow make that wish come true, so that everybody could literally kind of, in a way, we could decide en masse that we don't need to blow each other up. We can really come together, and we can make this the most incredibly beautiful world, right? That really does include everybody. I've always wanted to have a home of my own, because I've never actually bought my own home.
Interesting. Are you afraid of death?
I actually had a heart blip last year that I thought I was having a heart attack, and so it was. There was a few hours where I was like, wow. This might be it. Wow, have I accomplished everything that I came here to do? And, it was that same thing going I still feel like I have so much living still to do. And, and so thankfully it turned out to be pericarditis, but it felt like a full-on jammer. So
right.
I was afraid, not because, I guess, death, because I do believe that we do definitely go somewhere, for sure. I guess I was afraid that I wouldn't get to do what I still feel like I'm still here to do.
What is your biggest regret?
I'm trying not to regret not buying a home of my own at this point in my life, because I'm realizing just that sense of home. I've always wanted to just have that feeling, hey, that address, that's mine. I own that, or whatever. I've always wanted to get married and have a child of my own, to be called someone's dad.
Aww, you would be the absolute best dad in the world. The great thing about all those things is there's homes out there waiting all the time to have new owners come in. Family, there's so many ways to have a kid these days. What is your earliest memory of life?
It's so crystal clear. I was probably 2. It was wintertime, because I woke up and it was snowing, and it was around Christmas time, and I could see the Christmas lights outside of my window were illuminating that, just like this magic snow falling. But apparently I went AWOL outside of the house, because I decided I was going to make a snowman in the front yard, right, and just play in the snow. I guess it started raining, and I got cold, and then I knocked on the door, and my mom comes to the door going, essentially going, what are you doing outside?
At MLA Entertainment, I really believe in nurturing people's creativity. What does being creative mean to you, and how has it impacted your life and career? Any advice? Listen to the whisper, right? And, if it's not super clear, just ask loud of yourself. I came in here and pretty young, I went oh my God, I think this is what I want to do. Yeah.
Right? We've come here to do something because we're alive right now. It's meant to be here because we are, right? So believe in the power of your dreams, because for real, your dreams matter just as much as everyone else's. And, so there's room for everybody. You just got to be open and be flexible. You say yes more, right? And I've met some incredible people in my life. Gas station attendants that are for real, I felt like I was having a summit every time I would go and be able to pump gas and have a conversation with a few people.
Those are the best kinds of encounters, aren't they?
Absolutely. So there's brilliance and genius all around us. Buddha might be sitting next to you on your next flight. So don't be afraid to maybe just ask or look over and just say, hey, how are you doing? Because I really want people to know, hey, Like, I see you.
Well, I can tell you the world is a much better place just because you're in it, Matt.
Well, Keiko, thank you very much. And you know what? I say right back at you, kid, because you're doing some very, very special things.
I would just like to actually give you the floor now to tell the viewers about any upcoming projects you're working on or just anything you'd like to share before we sign off.
Doing the final chapter of my book, and I'm doing the early stages of the training for my next mission to go and, speak and be with the kids. Stay tuned on that for sure. I'm Matt Hill, and for MLA Entertainment, keep being creative.
Hey, you. You can help support the Keiko's Diary podcast by liking, subscribing, and sharing it with your friends. Sounds like you're pretty powerful. Thank you for listening, and keep being creative.